Hey everybody. Alright, so I was out here tinkering, and this is the horn off of the Jeep, and it's 6 volt, so I converted over to 12 volt. Um, I don't have a 6 volt battery or any way to check this for 6 volt, see if it actually works, but so what I was thinking is I'd kind of like to keep the original horn. I started taking it apart, and then I thought, you know what, this is one of those things where I should probably film it because it may be interesting. So my thought is to take this apart, and then I got these the other day on eBay, or I don't know, somewhere. So what I was thinking is they're pretty small. My thought was take this out and see if there's space to put one of those horns in. So like I said, I started working on this, and I did get that out, obviously, and then where the heck are they? The stuff that was in here, the magnet, contacts, all that, I got that out. I tried to take it out so that in the future, if because I do plan on probably eventually selling this Jeep somewhere down the road, hang on to it that way if somebody does want to convert it back to 6 volt. Hopefully it's something that they can use. So what I did is I drilled out what I could that had rivets on it, things like that. I started cleaning this up a little bit too, so so that was kind of my thought. That's what I'm thinking. And I do have this guy here, which and these little tabs were bent, I think straight up this way, 90 degrees. So I just bent them kind of straight. And what I'm thinking is kind of sliding it in here. And then there's a little plate somewhere here. Here we go. Which I still need to clean, but it says 6 volt on it. But that goes on the back, like original. The only thing that's not original is my little washer here. But I'll probably have to skin these down just a tad. It does fit, but it barely grabs. Think it grabbed or not yet? There we go. So that gets in there. And then this will go right back on the top. And it will kind of sort of look sort of like the original horn still. And then the little original or little studs, which are right here, that went from the inside out. And of course they have the little cardboard insulators here, and there, so it doesn't short out. And it just hooked to these little studs, which poked out of here. Your power ground connections. And then we've got power ground connections in here, which I put straight. So what I'm thinking, turn this thing, I don't know, oh yeah, I can still turn it, okay. So turn this a little bit, put a couple of connectors on here, and just run wires back to the original studs like they had it, just with the thing on the back here, push it through, connect it on the other end, put everything back together, paint it, and we should have what looks to be an original Willys horn, but it's got a modern 12 volt horn in it. So, I mean, I think you can buy them. I kind of vaguely remember looking, but they were, I don't know, 300 bucks, 250, 300 bucks, something like that. And I think I picked this guy, well, it was a 2-pack, and I want to say I picked them up for 20 bucks, something like that, maybe even a little less. And of course, the housing I had, so, and I am going to, again, retain all of the original 6 volt stuff, just in case. I don't know if it's even any good, because like I said, I wasn't able to check it, but if I do sell it in the future and somebody wants to put it back to original, at least they have the option. So anyways, let me keep working forward on this, and when I get a little more done, I'll show you guys how it's coming out, turned out, whatever the case may be. Thanks. Alright, so I just wanted to show you guys what I'm doing. So I got the one side hooked in. Obviously I'm just putting my connector, putting it on that. This is like a little carburetor, a little cardboard insulator, so it doesn't short out on the housing. And then there is another one here, this little tiny guy, which actually goes on here, but I can't do it one-handed. But and that's what insulates it between the bolt and this part of the housing, so it doesn't short. And then we've got, this is the metal washer, and then we got a fiber washer here, which goes on the back side. So that it doesn't short out on this section of the housing. So, like I said, I got the connector on, I got the first insulator here. Let me slide that second insulator on, put it through, get that done, and I'll turn this back on in just a minute. Alright, so I'm not sure if you can see it. I think you can. That's that little insulator right there, just to make sure that the stud and the housing don't touch each other and short. And then here's the little fiber washer that I was telling you about. So that one is going to go on right here. And then we got our metal washer, which is going to go on top now. And then, which I'm not going to be able to do, but we got our nut, which goes on. So let me put that on, and I will turn this back on in just a moment. Alright, so there we are. And as you can see, on the inside I used insulated terminals. They got the little clear plastic over them so they don't short. And I used the same thing on this end. So let me finish setting this thing in here, get it, get the nut on the back end, and I'll turn this back on once again. Alright, so there is our horn. Obviously I got a little body filler at some point in time on it. And take it back apart again, clean it up. But there it is. The connection on the inside, I'm probably going to try to shorten this up a little bit. I was thinking maybe, those are my last two connectors, so I'll have to go get some more connectors, but I'm thinking maybe get the new ones, cut them just a little bit, and then redo it, because I gave myself plenty of wire here, so I got more than enough wire to do it. I mean, it does fit that way, so I may just leave it like that as well. Everything is insulated, but definitely going to clean it up, paint it. Let me get this hooked up to a battery so you guys can hear it. We'll make sure it works, and then we'll continue from there. Alright, so as you can see, we're out of battery here. I have very chintzy connections here. I'm hoping everything just kind of holds out. Let me grab the negative here, and let's see what we get. So there we go. Our little 12-volt conversion works. Let me get this thing disconnected. I will get everything cleaned up, the rest of it, and painted and bolted back together, and I'll show you the finished product. Thanks. Okay, so I was just watching that last little segment that I put, and the horn sounds horrible on video. It really doesn't sound that bad, but I do have this other one here. Like I said, it was a 2-pack. This is the, I guess this is the higher pitch, lower pitch. That's what the word I was looking for, the lower pitched horn. More of a bass sound, or whatever you want to call it. So, but again, I mean, if you were to do it with these horns in this way, simply take the nut off of here, bend these guys a little bit, and you're looking at taking the nut off the back. When it pulls out, unplug these, and that's it. Swap this guy right in. So not too hard of a conversion. Even if it's really all together, I mean, you just got to take the bolts out of here, take that cover off, and same thing. So it's not really too hard to swap back and forth. But anyways, like I said, I just listened to that on the video and I was like, ooh, that sounds really bad. But it's not that bad in person. So anyways, just wanted to throw that in there. So let me get this stuff cleaned up and I will come back in just a while. Thanks. Alright, so I painted this up, let it sit since yesterday overnight. That way it's nice and dry so I can handle it. And of course what we got to do now is get it mounted on the Jeep. So I'm going to go ahead and take it over there, get some holes drilled, and I will mount it up and turn this thing back on in just a little bit. Alright, so there we go. We got our horn mounted. I got it wired in. Just got to put a little bit of looming down to here. But we got it wired. I only put 3 bolts on it. One, I didn't feel like drilling the extra hole, and it was just a little difficult to get to without taking everything apart. I thought, you know what, 3 is going to hold it, so I'm going to go with that. Now the test. Let's see if the horn works. Look at that. Call that a successful, I don't know if we should call it a conversion, because we're sort of converting it, but I don't know. I don't know if that's the proper word. But anyways, there we go. So we got a 12-volt horn that looks to be original, and it works. So, all right, great. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next video.